Alright. Let me move my mic closer. So it's not like a reverberation. We are back. And, okay, wait, now my mic's like covering the screen. My mic stand is, rather. Hold on. It's just my shit. It's good enough. Did you have any conversation or just talking to yourselves? Okay. So we are back, and we are going to be doing part 3 of what is this chapter? Not Ballad of Chaos. Frick. What is this one called? I don't remember. I think it's called Tower or something. I don't know. Skyward Blaze, maybe? Oh, maybe that's it? I think that might be it. No longer need us or convince him to give me each hole. Don't force me to turn this place into a mass grave. You're crazy, Orlova. Where do I go? That's where I came from. Brother. Okay. Oh, wait. I also have life, huh? Okay. Hello. Hello. Okay. Yes. Die. Is that all these losers? Yes, it is. Perfection. Did I even have to come up here? Or did I even have to kill those guys from up here? Up, down there? Yep, I can speak words. English is a language I can speak, yes? Die. Okay. Frick you. Hello. Oh, hello. Okay. We got this. Oh, there's a log. Me when my toilet's clogged. Sorry. Alright. Oh, there's more. There's change now. Oh, 3. Why not? Oh, get wrecked. Hello. Alright. Oh, that's it. Okay, easy peasy. Alright, twist and turn. Oh, hi. Ugh. Oh, he did. What the hell is going on here? Why are there still people trying to pick us off? Seems like these people lost their minds. They don't look anything, or they don't look any different from the changed. Can we hurry this up? The hydrogen contamination here is so high, it's horrible. There's no trace of him. Wednesday, are you sure the agent is in this base? Up there. How do you know he's up there? These people were all shot at different times. Look closely. They were executed by someone. The footprints next to them are neat. Here are neat. They're all following a path to the stairs. Just now, that woman hacked our comms to issue us that sinister warning. Huh. Things are getting pretty exciting. I love how there's the two monotone characters and then Fenny, who is the opposite of which. That room up ahead. I hear someone talking inside. Hey, Fenny. If that woman talking is Duchess Orlova, the adjutant is probably in danger right now. Were those voices Fenny and Acacia? I found it difficult to control my expression after not hearing their voices for so long. I smiled like an idiot, if only for a moment. We're still not sure if anyone... we're still not sure if anyone's inside. What if we open the door and a bunch of guns are pointing at us? Huh. I should set up a fortune-telling stall at Yggdrasil when we get back. The door is pushed open from the outside. Lyfe and Acacia appeared right before my eyes. They made tons of armed resistance army soldiers with their dark muzzles lined up neatly were posted in the room to greet them. Of course, Orlova was there as well. She was only a few steps away from me, narrowing her eyes in silent intimidation. What's this? Called in the honor guard when you heard we were coming? There wasn't a trace of fear on the blonde lioness's face. She raised her head proudly, loading shells into the tuber shotgun one by one. The sound of the bullet casings rubbing against the magazine seemed to create some sort of melody, repeatedly striking everyone's hearts. As if to accompany that melody, the silvered-haired silver-haired girl standing behind Fanny and Acacia faced the crowd and began walking toward me. She looked straight ahead. It was like her amber eyes were only ever had room for me. She maintained a consistent pace with each step as dozens of eyes watched on. So, she did so even in the stifling tense situation where a fight could break out at any moment. She simply walked right up in front of me and came closer than anyone else. I said I would find you. You really did find me. I called your name in that place. Did you hear me? I heard you. Good. Director T asked me to bring this to you. If you want to get rid of that tree, you need to start with this. She was holding a suitcase. As she spoke, she bounced it on her palm and got ready to open it. But just as she turned the safety lock on the suitcase and was ready to open it, a hand softly pressed the lid down. Don't move. One step out of line and I can't read, brother. And no matter how many people you have in this room, it won't be enough to handle me. The two of them quickly passed by Orlova's soldiers, pressing their weapons to the back of her head. But there was no trace of anger on their face. She snorted softly and turned her head around and glanced at Fanny and Acacia. I don't know how many times I've been threatened at gunpoint like this, but I'm sure this time is the happiest I've been. Yeah. She shifted her gaze back to my face. Thank you, Adjutant. I haven't had a dull moment since you came here to Yaris. You're crazy. All right, lower your weapons. As soon as she said this, the resistant soldiers in the room all lowered their weapons without a hint of hesitation. Adjutant. As always, Fanny made no effort to hide her dissatisfaction. Put that away, Fanny. We can still negotiate calmly, right? I gazed over at Orlova. Her expression was completely relaxed. And she glanced at me with a soft smile. Even surrounded by 6 manifestations, she still looked calm and composed. Let's talk somewhere else, Adjutant. On the way here, my people found something that you might be interested in. I'll take you to see it. Maybe you'll reconsider my proposal after you see it. Okay. Hand over Ichel to me and leave with those girls of yours, just like we agreed in the beginning. This is my homeland, the home of the people of Yaris. I will ensure everyone remains unharmed. No, she couldn't ensure that. Yeah, if she could, they wouldn't be in such harm's way already. The tree that was poisoning Yaris had become entwined with a rocket on the launch pad outside the base. Orlova wanted to detonate the rocket with a remote control panel and the tree along with it. She had been carrying around the key to that control panel before, meaning that she had long been planning to do this. If Katya hadn't found that key in Orlova's mansion, if I hadn't helped her get rid of Omega, who would she have taken the key to, and what would she have used it to negotiate for? Doing as Orlova said would indeed take care of the tree, but the hydrogen contamination expelled by the explosion would blanket the entire Northwind Aerospace Center, affecting the lands for hundreds of kilometers around. Turning our homeland into a vast, dangerous no man's land, a desolate hell, racked by a second disaster. Did that qualify as everyone remaining unharmed? No, it does not. I couldn't trust her. She was a politician, playing all sides. She must have some trick up her sleeve. And what she was planning on using to threaten me into giving in now? After we passed through several hallways filled with resistant army soldiers, he led us into a spacious office. As soon as we walked in, the black body bag on one of the tables grabbed my and the other operatives' attention. Open it. Have a look. I felt a chill run down my spine, resisting the trembling sensation triggered by my sixth sense. I reached toward the body bag on the table. Get back, Adjutant. I'll do it. Fanny grabbed my shoulder, pushing me softly. She then crisply opened the zipper on the bag, creating a harsh sound as everyone stood in shocked silence. Oh, Haru. I was thinking, like, what? It was Naruse Haru, the ace and the captain of the Heimdall force. She lay silently inside like a statue. Her clean, immaculate face lacked any expression whatsoever. Not even a trace of anger. I'll kill all of you. Fanny! The enraged lioness whipped around, drew her gun, shot her all over. Lyfe was one step ahead of her, though, grabbing onto the shotgun handguard and shifting the muzzle over. Jeez. Before the sound of the shot had even began to dissipate, the resistance army's shoulders flooded in the hallway. However, Katya's crossbow bolts stopped them in their tracks like falling rain. Hey, good job, Katya. And good job, Lyfe, for the freaking quick reaction. Jeez. I turned around to see Tess and Acacia using their bodies as shields to protect Ichel. Each and every one of my operatives was carrying out their duty as they glared at Orlova with fury. She isn't dead, but does her current state count as alive? He spoke slowly after some time. You said you couldn't agree with my plan. You said you'd use yourself as a conduit to get rid of the tree. I really want to trust you, Adjutant. Even though I don't understand the complexities of the Titagen, the experience we've shared thus far makes me want to trust you. But isn't that poor girl lying over there precisely because she absorbed too much Titagen? Tell me, how can I trust you? You can trust him. A sudden cold voice stunned me. When I looked to the side, Lyfe had already opened the box she was carrying, took out the object inside, and placed it on Haru's chest. Ugh! Haru, who had been utterly unconscious, reacted the second it came into contact with her. Her body slightly twisted slightly, and a pain expression revealed itself on her face. What are you doing? The Titagen released by the Mori fragment sample instantly caused most of the people in the room to feel discomfort. Orlova furrowed her brow, her gaze shifting between me and Lyfe. People that have nothing to do with this don't need to hear the explanation. Get out of here and take your men with you. Perhaps seeing Lyfe's decisive attitude caused Orlova to falter, or maybe something indescribable deep within Orlova's heart was soothing her. Ultimately, she gave me a deep look as if she was attempting to carve my likeness into her eyes. She then turned around and let everyone out. Interesting. You guys need to leave too. Huh? Why? Just listen to her, noob. Okay, shut up. Jeez. For manifestations, what happens next is worse than being stuck in a nightmare. It's up to you, Wednesday. Don't lose the adjutant. Fenny patted Lyfe softly on the shoulder as she passed by. I looked at Fenny, but she avoided my gaze and walked out quickly, seemingly angry. Is this how the company cured you, Lyfe? A kind of reverse engineering. So the hydrogen in your body gets absorbed by this thing instead. For a while, Katya's eyes had been glowing with a blue radiance. It was a unique reaction she experienced when observing Titagen. No, we brought this to help the adjutant master has control of channeling Titagen, so he can handle the tree. But I can use it now to save those fighting alongside me. When she gazed at the Mori fragment, there was a clear disgust in her eyes. However, when she looked at Haru... Jeez, I need a drink of water. Hold on. Sorry about that. Anyways. However, when she looked at Haru, it immediately transformed into sadness and fury. Put your hand on mine, Adjutant. I'll go with you. Okay. Are we entering that place? Ichel! Just as I placed my palm over Lyfe's hand and touched Haru, a pair of small, pale, and soft hands also covered mine. I want to help you too, Adjutant. Don't resist them, but don't remember them either. That way they won't hurt you. I will say, it's hard seeing Ichel in that form, but I will say it is a cool design. Ugh. With Ichel's words, that's a nasty fucking sound, echoing in my ears, I took one last look at Haru's face. I then let down my guard and allowed the Titagen and the Mori fragment to invade my body. Once again, I found myself in that strange, confounding place. Yeah, Russ. I don't want to be a puppet. Or the coyotes. What is this place? Valhalla, Adjutant. It's a realm of consciousness constructed by the Titans. Those bad guys trick people into coming... Those bad guys trick people into coming, then trap them here. It's just like that short man did to me. I felt a warmth in both of my palms. I looked all around me. And even though I couldn't see them, I had no doubt they were right next to me. All independent consciousness dissolved here, no longer belonging to the original individuals. It all then merges into the core, transforming to exist as one. If you want to preserve your individuality in Valhalla, it means you have to use your willpower to fight off the consciousness of the entire world. Remember everything that belongs to you and you alone. That is how you can traverse through this realm. Clearly observe its essence, then reshape it. That's what Director T said. I don't really understand, but she asked me to tell you. Why did she tell you all this? Or how does she know all this? Because she said you needed to understand this to handle the tree. And I was only able to wake up from my coma because that's what I did during that time. The voice in my ear suddenly got closer. It was as if she was really leaning over and talking to me quietly. I turned to look over in surprise and realized that Lyfe had already completely materialized in front of me. I'm Lyfe Bestla. I'm your operative. Other than that, I don't have a will that exists in this place. I only accept these beliefs because my thoughts related to you belong to me alone. So no matter how long I am trapped here, I can maintain my existence. Okay. Me too. I'm Angel. I'm not a symbol like other people say. I'm not. Her petite silhouette grew clear before my eyes. They were so different from everything else here, so firm in my vision. They weren't hazy or wavering whatsoever. Remember who you are and what you want to do. Who are you? Let everything else simply flow through you to gain freedom. It's something only you can do. Interesting. Okay, 2 hours later, Orlova was sitting in the Suzdal Command Center. She had her signature smile on her face as she stared at the comm screen in front of her. Inconsistency can disrupt the trust built through negotiation. You know that better than anyone, Your Grace. Of course, General. That's why I contacted you personally as soon as I made this decision. Any decision made by the military is collectively made by headquarters. I cannot change the results alone. But your colleagues aren't shouldering the risk with you. Right now, your subordinates are the only people fighting desperately at Northwind Aerospace Center now. That includes your precious Beowulf Battalion. With all due respect, I've been wondering something from the beginning. Did headquarters not take that into consideration before they decided to launch a nuclear strike? Although it was brief, she spotted the reaction she was looking for in the composed, confident face on the screen. The Yggdrasil Adjutant is someone who is capable of making miracles happen. He just proved that to me again, and he is still making new miracles. I'm asking you to postpone the nuclear strike for the sake of our long friendship. Interesting. Okay. The person on the other side of the call didn't commit to anything, hanging up the communication. Orlova smiled bitterly and gently leaned back in her chair. On the table in front of her were the open control panel and her previously lost key. Interesting. As you can see, I did it. Even though she still looked weak, Hara's condition was stable. Without a doubt, we had rescued her from death's door. You're an incredible person, Adjutant. No, I'm just an ordinary person who wants to protect those I care about. I think you're the same, Duchess. You can have the key and remote control panel for the rocket. Regardless of what happens in the future, let's deal with the tree together. My operatives will split into 2 groups. One will follow me down to the door that leads to the launch tower where the tree is located. The other will head to the mechanism control panel at the top level and open the door. Please watch the command center carefully. Of course, if I fail you, you can go on with your plan as if nothing's changed. It was like I was talking to myself. Or did she say that? Wait! Come back alive, Adjutant. Okay. Man, 19 minutes in and I've only done this and that. Alright. Mutation! Alright, let's see how this goes. I have a feeling that we're gonna fight some characters that are classified as a mutation! Or turret! Turret, not fun! Oh, come on. Boom, there we go. So let's put a little show. Okay. You can buy some time for the action and the other operatives, okay? Oh, careful, don't let them touch you. Come on, let the show begin. Okay. You're dead. Die. Okay. Oh, wait. Here we are. Okay, some changed. And they are changed into rubble now. Get wrecked. Oh, jeez. Alright, I can just kill you. I can just kill you. Alright, mission completed. Okay. And, oh, hello, Ichel. So, we're gonna do one little last story thing, and then we'll call the episode here, and then hopefully that should be everything. Or, be everything. Be, like, next episode will be enough to finish. Yeah, definitely will be able to. Okay, so we'll do this, and yeah. And then we'll have one more. Because, yeah. All the other Perilous Snowpath and Ballad of Chaos were 4 parts, so I was thinking, okay, so surely this will also be. Yeah, it looks like it will be. Alright. Meanwhile, far from Eurus, vehicles from major media outlets were parked in front of the Yggdrasil headquarters. Mainstream media journalists and photographers with cameras were warming up for the event in front of their respective audiences. This will be the first appearance of T, the current director of Yggdrasil Enterprises, since the events at the 5th Research According to a previous statement published by the Yggdrasil Media Relations Department, this press conference was suddenly announced by T to expose crimes committed by Omega, a former member of the Yggdrasil board. Well, there has long been an information blockade on Northwind Aerospace Center. It's rumored that the local Quaranoff faction has essentially broken away from military control, severely endangering the stability of Eurus. Paired with recent reports from other areas in Eurus, it's difficult to believe that the Quaranoff faction isn't behind... Wait. It's difficult to believe... Oh, yeah. The influx... isn't behind the influx of people from the rear military-controlled area to Northwind Aerospace Center. Okay. Last month, a large-scale conflict broke out near Oswell Steel Mill at the Eurus border, severely damaging the Barentsy Pribor hard maglev rail. Duchess Tatiana Orlova looked quite uncomfortable during her last interview. Is there something that is being hidden from the public? After the appearance of the Titagen tree, what exactly has been transpiring at Eurus Aerospace Center? At Northwind Aerospace, whatever, over the past few months. As a trump card against the Titans, what is the Heimdall Force doing now? Okay. Stood in front of the floor-to-ceiling window in the office, silently observing the ruckus from afar. What kind of rhetoric would serve to publicize the truth while also protecting Yggdrasil as much as possible? Especially the adjutant, along with the reputation of the safety of the Heimdall Force. Before, she never troubled herself with these things. There were people on the board more familiar with it. Back then, she just needed to focus on what she was proficient at. But she couldn't do that anymore. Regardless of her quiet nature, in 10 minutes she had to stand in the spotlight to accept their questions, attacks, provocations, all meant to trap her. She'd read the speech that Ji Chenqing and the media relations department had drafted for her countless times. Each time she read it, she felt more and more disquieted. Should she reveal the whole truth, or should she continue concealing the truth from the public and just blame everything on the dead W? According to the latest updates from the front lines, the adjutant succeeded in absorbing and transforming the missing Mori fragment, and Orlova was helping him get ready for the next step. But the issue of the tree still hadn't been solved. At that moment, no one could predict what might happen. Vinny, what do you want me to do? Wait for the tides to shift. Wait for a strong, legitimate reason for you to leverage the company's power. Okay. Yes, the truth didn't matter. The truth was the least important thing right now. The reason she was doing this by herself was to help attract more attention to the adjutant, thereby protecting him. While she was in comfort and safety far from Eurus, she had to ensure his safety. She had to let the world know that there were currently many people still coveting the power of Titagen. The existence of the trees was more important to some people than human life. Okay. Director T. The girl who walked through the door was dressed in a neat combat uniform, but she was wearing a rare hint of makeup. She would be accompanying T today to face the pressure of the media. It's time? No, not yet. An odd look revealed itself on the girl's face. It was as if she was troubled by a difficult decision. You might need to look at this. Okay. She knew Ji Chenqing, and she knew what it meant when this girl wore such a hesitant expression. With that, she took the initiative to walk over to the girl. Despite Chenqing's hesitation, she simply took the video playback device from her. Of course, what she had been secretly worried about since she began preparing for this press conference had happened. Okay. This pie. So pie, okay. I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna read. I'm not gonna say whatever each one is. Because I just know this is pi. I don't remember the other symbols. To the journalists, viewers, and writers in front of the screen, greetings. I trust that everyone still remembers me. Like everyone else, I'm eagerly awaiting this upcoming press conference being held by my former partner, Miss T. Let me guess, you all have so many things to ask her about Northwind Aerospace Center in Yaris. What forces took part in the fight at Oswell's steel mill? Why did the Prince Prebor hard maglev rail and train explode? Is the Quaranoff faction really suspected of force people from the military-occupied zone to participate in inhumane experiments? Did the Heimdall Force and the adjutant play a part in these incidents? Heh, that woman has come up with so many lies to deceive you all. Just like she used underhanded methods to push me and the other innocent individuals out of Yggdrasil. This time, she's even prepared a scapegoat, one who was already passed away. In all honesty, I'm just as curious to hear what she will say to fool everyone. So before she officially takes the stage, allow me to warm up the audience for her first. Oh, great. You two, the temporary distribution camp is here, and we'll be distributing everything here as well. With Suzdal base at the center of everything, surrounding hydrogen contamination is incredibly severe. It's the only place that can be considered safe right now. Heh, this place really smells like the street. It reminds me of when I was little. How do they let a place like this in Yaris military-occupied zone, though? Oh, become like... Yeah, okay. Sorry, I cannot answer that question. Don't get all nervous, we're just chatting. Hey, you guys come with me and take the inhibitors to the warehouse. Got it. Not long before the garrison soldiers trapped on the ice field had followed the path forcibly opened up by Li Chishue and the Beowulf Battalion safely retreating Northwind Aerospace Center, Nina and Yao had sent out from Yggdrasil's border branch, hovering around the surrounding area as they used a relay technique to refuel in the air before they also received the okay to land. Currently, they and the officers from Yggdrasil Security Department were transporting the boulder inhibitors from headquarters to the distribution camp set up by the garrison troops. But the girls' thoughts were focused on the adjutant. They wanted nothing more than to immediately drop their cargo and head straight for the Suzdal launch base to protect him like life. Before they had left, T had warned them that the safe distribution of boulder inhibitors was just as important. Their only objective was to keep everyone still here safe from the encroachment of the Titan contamination. Okay. I'm gonna need damages for the harm to my mental health, reimbursement for food, and overtime pay after a month of confinement. What else is there? There's so many. So many ways for me to make a buck. Adjutant, you have to come back alive. My dream of getting rich all depends on you. Her hands clasped and eyes sparkling, Nita looked like a devout follower praying to the shadowy sky. Even so, Yao stood next to her with her head lowered, not uttering a word. Ahem. Hey, what's up with you? You're so quiet. Are you not feeling good? I'm fighting my distaste for working overtime and losing. Huh? I know Director T said we need to focus on the boulder inhibitors, but I can't stop worrying about the adjutant. That's a Titan tree, Nita. It just can't be cut down or plucked out of the ground, and using his body as a conduit sounds even more ridiculous. So what are you planning? They glanced at one another as the corners of their lips tilted up. Do I need to say it? I mean, we're already here. So we might as well do something. Oh boy. General, the Yggdrasil boulder inhibitors have arrived. There are now 8 manifestations from the Heimdall force here, in addition to myself and the garrison soldiers. There are so many people here working hard to resolve this crisis. Why does headquarters insist on being so stubborn? If we bomb the aerospace center and destroy it, it would be setting a terrible precedent for people all around the world. In the future, any armed group, or maybe even an individual, could use eliminating Titans as an excuse for nuclear deterrence, or to instigate nuclear attacks. Is headquarters planning on using such a violent incident like that to announce the militaries? It isn't about the tree anymore, Captain Lee. Look at this. A staff intercepted an order sent by Rosen Quaranaw to all Special Forces personnel remaining at Northwind Aerospace Center. Okay. The message that arrived in the beeping comms was as shocking as a lightning bolt from the sky. If it was just about the tree, headquarters would have simply trusted the Heimdall force and Barenzi Prebor to handle it. But if this order is real, you know what you're going to find there. There's only 1 hour. Everyone needs to retreat. General Adrian hung up the call. He was certain that the information he had just given his subordinate was enough to help her understand the best course of action. Captain Lee, so this is where you've been. We've helped you out a lot, right? Why don't you do something in return and pick a few of your men who can come with us? Run. Quickly. What is it? Captain Lee? As Yeon needed to look confused, Lee Chishira turned around. Her face was drained of all color, filled with anxiety and rage. Tell Director T, tell your adjutant. Everyone needs to evacuate from Northwind Aerospace Center immediately. Oh, hell. Okay. Deserted. Frigid. There were no signs of life in this empty room. Omega's corpse hanging by Gustav's portrait made the atmosphere all the more depressing. That depression made her heart pound. But was that feeling almost euphoric? Perhaps her heart was overflowing with so many emotions that she couldn't tell what in particular was making her feel so suffocated. She could only breathe in the filtered air from her nebulizer in big gulps, taking breaths that quickly thickened each time to control the trembling pleasure racking her body. She slowly moved closer to him until the scent of blood and ink on the picture frame combined together and inundated her brain until his death was undeniably visible to her. She reached out with slender fingers, carefully gently lifting up his askew collar. She placed his fallen mantle back onto his stiff, lifeless shoulders. But in the next second, his mantle slipped down once again. You. She took a small step backward, reached up with her finger, gently swept away a tear from the corner of her eye. A hero? Liar, careerist, a puppet suspended on strings of a desire for power and a fear of death. How could someone like you be from Garrus? Someone so greedy for life and petrified of death. You spent your entire life going through so much trouble to be a traitor, snarling like a dog wherever you go, troubling everyone around you. In the end, did you avoid death? Sergei Dobrinin? That's so funny. Uncle Sergei. Do you remember the day this portrait was completed? Right here, the door behind me. You were the one who brought me in to see it. Back then, my father. Ah, right. He was standing here, and Uncle Gustav was across from him. This entire room is filled with your generation's achievements. The glory of the past. The mightiest generals and leaders in all of Eurus are here. The scent of blood lingers on you all. The old guard who survived life and death combat on the battlefield. When I stood in your presence back then, I was so terrified that I would almost faint. But you'd tell me jokes to calm me down, and joke about yourself. You said one day you'd ask the citizens of Eurus to paint a portrait of you, and hang it next to Uncle Gustav. You said every hero in this room deserved to be painted and displayed. Then you looked at me seriously and said that after a few generations, when the future people of Eurus came here and admired you all as heroes, no one would make fun of you for being short. Bro was short, angry, that's crazy, bro. Wow. Talk about insecure. L. Alright, anyways. Because in paintings, everyone looks like they are the same height. Ha. Now that I think about it, you were an unpleasant person. You're always beating around the bush, trying to hide whatever darkness was within you, but failing. Oh. These intense emotions intensified the suffocating pain, and Orlova could feel something inside her body disintegrating and dissipating. She desperately inhaled through her nebulizer, but the air didn't seem to be enough to satisfy her. It was like an invisible blade was slicing through her chest, and she couldn't stop herself from coughing up a mouthful of blood. Along with the blood came a sensation of stifling heaviness. On the other side of the room, where the floor-to-ceiling window overlooked the tower and the tree, her communicator began to ring. She stumbled over, unsteady even taking just these few steps. She seemed somewhat confused. I'm listening. Good. Be careful. It was a call from the adjutant. She needed to work with him, to use the control panel to activate the launch preparation sequence, thus opening the launch pad. That way, when his operatives opened the last door, he would be able to get to the roots of the tree. Then everything would be over. Yes, it was time to settle things once and for all. Also, I love this music, by the way. I've been sipping over it ever since it started, but didn't say anything about it. Anyways, the people of Eurus had been bogged down by suffering for too long, as had she. If he really could succeed, then she would find the best artist to paint a portrait of him and hang it next to Gustav. With that in mind, she pushed the key into the control panel and opened the suitcase that had held their fate within. That old man heard everything you just said. Orla was in a daze as an unfamiliar voice sounded outside the window in front of her. She looked up in shock to see a blurry figure through the glass. Commander Rosen sends her regards, Duchess Orlova. It was so quiet, nearly undetectable. Something penetrated the glass, breaking apart the nebulizer in her hand, finally invading her body and heart. Then it led to the most evil thing in this world. Something that had been buried deep within her long ago, to explode. Descend, Tatiana. Descend, daughter of Eurus. Okay. Become our tears. Usher in our rebirth. Oh, hell. That's not good. Okay. Well, that will be the cliffhanger for next time. Very curious to see how this all ends. And, because then after this is Realm of Illusion. Okay. Yeah. Man, I spent so long since I did Realm of Illusion. That's when I first started playing this game. That came out. But yeah, so thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. So stay tuned for the final part. And after that, we will continue with these 3 chapters. So yeah, see you in the next one.